Retro games suck. Now that I have your attention with that clickbait title, I just wanted to pop in here because I saw this Barbie game that was in a ROM pack of games somebody given me, and I saw that the Barbie movie was exploding, so I went back to try to play the Barbie video game, and it's a click and point game on Sega Genesis. As far as click and point games go, this wasn't bad given the technology they had at the time, but overall the game was just super boring. And so that put me onto the idea of what other games suck. And so I found a couple. Back to the Future Part 3 was atrocious. I didn't get past the first 6 seconds of that. Same thing with a couple other games such as X-Men, which I remember playing as a kid. And then X-Men 2, which I never played. X-Men 1 I played as a kid, got to the end with a cheat code, took forever how to figure out how to reset a computer, and then I finally beat it. And so that was one of the other things I wanted to talk about, was what makes games crappy. And for me, it's not getting past the first level or being so disinterested that you don't want to make it past the first level, as was the case with Back to the Future Part 3. Then I found another game called Zool, Zool. And of course, like everybody, it made me think of Ghostbusters. But no, this thing's basically like a weird Mario / Sonic the Hedgehog game, but it's based in a world of suckers and candy made by the Chupa company, if I'm saying it right, Chupa. And I'll show you the game and the backgrounds and all that stuff, but it just was odd. It wasn't until I picked up Evander Holyfield's Real Deal box and that I was like, okay, this is a game based off of another person, a licensed game, if you will, that does not suck. So I may just do another follow-up video about games based on licensing, such as True Lies, Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Alien series, and just see which one of those games suck and which ones don't, because a lot of these first four kind of suck. There's no tutorials, because this was in a day before tutorials existed, so you just had to read the book. If you've downloaded these games or had somebody give these to you in a ROM image, there are no books. You can go online and find strategy guides people have written for them or instructions, but it's usually thousands of words, black text on a white background, boring to read. As soon as you click on it, you're just like, F this, click out of the page. Better option would be to go to like the Internet Archive and see if they have a booklet for it that you can read. Because a lot of times the Internet Archive will have the official booklets that somebody scanned in, so you get the original. Pictures, colored words, all of that. None of this boring thousands of words of black on a white background stuff. So here's Back to the Future Part 3, the first of games I try to play. And while it's got its comedic moments, the gameplay itself is really bad. Basically, you'll see, boom, just hit something, fell off my horse. Didn't know what this game was going to be about. Turns out it's about boring. It's learning stuff, learning where everything is, repetition. I thought it would be fun. I was hoping it would be fun, but just like that, knocked off my horse 3 times. Boulder, jump. But you'll see, this is my first time playing it. Didn't know what to expect. Look at this. It's funny. It has a sense of humor. It's just a crap game. Back to the Future, big no. X-Men and subsequently X-Men 2. 2 games based off of cool things. The X-Men, bad controls. The movement just feels really stiff. It's hard to get a fluid feel of like where your character's gonna go when you press the direction, which is not what you want when there's platforming involved. In a few moments I tried to fight the Juggernaut character, literally couldn't figure out how to do damage to him. And then I discovered that I think it's just a time-based battle, like you just dodge him enough times and he goes away, but again, no way of knowing that. But you just take a lot of damage over like just crappy mechanics. X-Men 2 doesn't get any better. I thought it would. It felt good at first, but then within like 10 or 12 seconds of playing it, it was the exact same thing. And don't get me wrong, I think X-Men 2 looks better than this game, but it's just not better. Here's X-Men 2. Again, I thought it felt better at first, and then I just kept getting tagged by stuff. Maybe because I just played it for 30 seconds, I didn't give it a fair shake, but it just didn't feel good. It looked better, I thought. I thought it ran faster too. The frame rate seems faster. Maybe it's not, but it felt like an improvement for the first 30 seconds, and then that was it. Maybe I need to play it again, learn it, practice it, but to me it just felt, I don't know, not fun. Which is a shame because, the X-Men cartoon was awesome. Here's a game called Zool. If I'm saying it right, who knows. But basically, this Candyland. You're this little green ninja, gremlin, something, monster, and you shoot candy. And you jump on candy wafers on top of what looks to be like a giant gingerbread house. And it took me a few moments to realize that this is based off of an actual candy brand. It was when I saw these little honeybees and what they look like, their little stripes and the color palette used, that it made me think of this candy. And then I saw that immediate sign there, which of course, if you've ever been to the grocery, you've seen that before. They make suckers mostly. That's what I've seen here in America. Maybe they make other things as well. But it's just a platforming game, and what you can't tell by the controls is that frosting acts like icing. As you move across it, you will slide just a little bit. So platforming, again, not great in this game. I'm sure an 8-year-old kid would be way better at this than I am, but I just didn't have the patience for it. Finally, the best game in this small list, Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing. This I actually do kind of remember a little bit from when I was 13. It's got a create a player mode or a career mode, build your own boxer, go fight some people, box them. Then afterwards you can do training. It's like 3 little exercises you can do before each match, which will boost your stats depending on the exercise. Yes, there is a cheat code to create like a all-powerful green god zombie called the Beast, but you don't need it. You can play this game legitimately and beat Evander Holyfield. Even though after you beat Evander Holyfield, you've only got a certain number of matches in your career, so eventually your stats start depleting no matter how well you train, and so you have to end that person's career and create a new boxer or start a new career, as it were. But yeah, this is the first game that I played for more than 5 minutes because, it was intuitive enough to get past the first stage or get past the first 30 seconds, which a lot of those other games did not. Like, I just was not interested, which is a shame because, again, X-Men rule. So again, yeah, this just brings me to my next point, is that I remember there being a lot of stinker licensed games based off of movies and TV shows that were just not great. There was a Batman game, not that great. Bram Stoker's Dracula, kind of hard, not that great. Movie was awesome. Jurassic Park was okay, a little hard, but otherwise okay. True Lies, bad. Great movie. Will not stop watching it. Seen it a million times. The game sucks. There was a game called Warlock based off the movie Warlock. I don't remember ever playing it, so I'll have to check that out, see if it's any good or not. But yeah, there were just a bunch of hit and miss games. Alien vs. Predator, which came out before the movie, but of course based on the Alien and Predator universe. I will try that out, see if it's any good. If there are any other games based on movies or TV shows that you want to see played or reviewed, let me know. I'll try it. If it doesn't suck, I'll stick with it. I vaguely remember playing Home Alone when I was in a hotel once when I was 13. That was okay. You set a bunch of traps, wait for the bad guys to fall into it, that sort of thing. But that's going to wrap it up for this overly long video, just reviewing a couple of games. I wish they were better. Sadly, they were not. Maybe I need to get good, as the kids say, but they weren't my cup of tea. So as much as I have a lot of nostalgia for the older games, some of the newer games just do it way better.